different, the combination of these effects, and you can bring that from, people can create that and they can give you this motion XML, or you can bring that motion XML into Captivate and apply that on any object to create that complex effect on that object in Captivate. So that's what I was referring to.
Okay. Leva is in our chat room, and she's asking a question here, a question and a comment. And the comment is that that it seems that there's less limitations on file size with Captivate 5 and the number of slides due to some of these new features. Is that true?
That's right. So again, as I was mentioning, as people start creating more and more complex projects, previously, I think most of our community experts and on our forums, when people ask about file size or the number of slides you want to have in a Captivate project, etc., everybody talks about like a 10-minute project or 50 to 100 slide Captivate project, which used to be the norm earlier, but we've continuously been improving on that. And currently, truly, I don't believe there is a size limit in terms of, number of slides or the duration that Captivate project can flow to. So we thoroughly test the product for greater than 500 slides in the project. So, even with the lower processing requirements that we set on our test machines, the project works, without a hitch. So those are things that we've taken care of. We've done things to help you work with these large projects more easily. So we've introduced features like we've improved the preview and the publish speeds. So the preview times are lightning quick, and you can publish much more quickly than what you could previously in the previous version. So it definitely helps you work with larger projects more easily.
No, and Lever's, the second part of her question was, is there going to be an upgrade to Acrobat for eLearning Suite?
Okay, no. So with this current version of eLearning Suite, there's no upgrade planned to Acrobat 10. The reason is that when we create a suite, we look at it as a single product and not a bunch of products that are put together with a discount slapped on top of it. So because of basically when we do it that way, when we look at it as a single product, we have specific workflows between these products, and they are tightly integrated, which helps you create specific projects more easily. So these tight integrations between the products exist for these specific versions, and that makes it a single product as an eLearning Suite too. So because of that, we don't offer, you can't swap out one version and bring in another. So that's not possible. When we come out with the next version of eLearning Suite, at that point, you will have the latest version of Acrobat in it.
In other words, be patient.
Yes.
Anyway, it's sort of interesting. Terrence touched upon the controversy, if you will, between Flash on platforms. Actually, I don't think it's a controversy. I think it was strictly Apple and the rest of the world. And that's just Apple being Apple, I guess. They like to dominate their little world, and they want everybody to play in that little world. But Flash is used in just about everything. So sure. It's kind of an insane proposition, and I don't think they want it. So I think people have moved on, and supposedly you can actually run Flash indirectly on Apple devices like iPads and iPhones. It's just that it's not direct at this moment, but hopefully in the future it will be.
That's true. So actually, if you have the eLearning Suite, Captivate has a workflow which allows you to author content for the iDevices. So if you have the eLearning Suite, when you're publishing the Captivate content, we offer you a checkbox which enables the specific Swift file, the Flash file for consumption on iDevice, and if you've checked that checkbox, then the Swift that you output, you would be able to take that and run it through the Notice app, which is part of the e-learning suite in Flash and in Flash Pro, and it creates a, a a file that can be uploaded on to iTunes for consumption on the iPhone. So that is possible today.
That's a Flash file though.
It's not a Flash file, so obviously a Flash file wouldn't play on this, right? But it's an app which can run on the iPhone.
Okay.
So that's a standard workflow that we have today. Yes.
What kind of, so you could put the e-learning content on that kind of on that app and it would run in either an
That's
iPad.
right. That's right. So you take a regular Captivate project, you publish a regular Captivate project, and in the Captivate publish dialog, we have a checkbox for enable Swift for iPhone, I believe it says. So as long as you check that, then your Swift file, your Flash file, is enabled for consumption on a iPhone, and then you need to run this Swift through the Notice app, which is part of Flash Pro and eLearning Suite, and this spits out iPhone application, which will then play on an iPhone.
And that's good.
That's right. When you talk to Rick, even when he's not on Skype, he carries around his iPad, so you hear those sound effects no matter what.
Yeah, and I mean, even from the devices perspective, and Rick did touch upon it, right? So we do believe that what we are seeing, in terms of trends for the future, we do believe that a lot of people are going to be consuming content on these tablets and mobile devices. I think like a couple of days ago, I was seeing how the number of tablets in the US is going to grow. Wow, something's wrong with the light here. Okay, it's going to grow like 5 times by 2012. So, from what it was in 2010.
Yeah, actually, and it's interesting. Right now, they're saying the iPad still dominates in tablets, and it will probably continue to dominate for at least another year. Though you've got tablets like the Samsung, I forgot what they call it, the Samsung tablet, I guess.
The Galaxy Tab.
The Galaxy Tab, that's it. It's getting good reviews, and it runs Flash, so technically you could actually deploy any kind of content on it right now, e-learning content or whatever. So we're getting there slowly but surely as far as tablets go. Now the key is creating software that works for the tablet, and there's some good stuff out there. Some of it's not quite as good as it could be. Other stuff is great. It's just a different paradigm. And the thing is, will corporations invest in tablets for the future? That's I guess where we'll have to see, or is it strictly going to be on the home entertainment side? So we'll have to see where that fleshes out. I don't know any companies yet who are buying.
Actually,
do you know some?
Yeah, so again, as I said, in the recent past, many of the large companies that I've spoken to have expressed interest in, introducing tablets and mobile devices for the workforce. A lot of people have gone out and got the devices themselves and now would like to have that content, e-learning content on those devices. So I think a lot of people are getting serious. The requirement for having content on these devices is every large corporation I speak to expresses an interest in it. I don't see many people nowadays who say, no, it's not something I'm looking at.
That's good.
At least they are considering it. If they've not yet implemented it, they are at least considering it. And I think that's only going to grow. If the number of tablets are going to grow 5 times from 2010 to 2012, and I believe around a quarter of the internet connected population in the US will have a tablet device by 2012. That's what the statistics said.
And I
That
think,
was like the Forrester survey, which was done a week ago or something.
and I,
So that's a lot of tablets, and or I mean, even, and this doesn't include any of your iPhones and all these smartphones. So I'm guessing a lot of content is going to be consumed that way, and it makes sense for people to be prepared to I mean, have content delivered in that means.
Terrence, do we have any other questions for Shamir in the chat room at this point?
I am not understanding this one from Leva, but she's saying that is there a possible conflict with TCS3? And unfortunately, I don't know what TCS3
Technical
is.
Communication Suite.
Ah, okay.
So I don't understand in terms of, I mean, what could be a conflict, but I'm happy to announce that we just launched the Technical Communication Suite yesterday, last night, which is officially today morning in the US. So yes, the new Technical Communication Suite is out, and it has the latest versions of RoboHelp, FrameMaker, Captivate, Photoshop, and Acrobat. So yes, the TCS3 actually has Acrobat 10, I believe. Yes.
Well, that's an interesting
So
suite, Shamir, because you've got mainly a publishing suite, but Captivate's in that. Is that for creating online help or online demos, just-in-time training?
it's
Would
not for training. It's so so it is a technical communication suite, and what we are seeing is that a lot of the TechCom folks are actually adding multimedia content to the help files that they create, to the documentations that they create. So in a lot of places, when you have content created using RoboHelp, other than a step-by-step instructions, they also have a video which is captured using Captivate, and that seems to be a very popular workflow, and that's the reason Captivate is part of the suite.
What kind of things? And can you give us any hints as to what might be coming in Captivate 5, for example? Any?
Captivate 5 is already out, but
I'm sorry.
yes.
6.
uh, so
Rick
in
is
terms
Rick
of
is eager.
sorry, was somebody else saying something, or is it just my audio?
Now go ahead, Shamir.
Okay. So, in terms of, I mean, future versions, obviously we don't really discuss the features, but it's something that we've started work on. So I can say that. And um, we definitely believe that, one of the key areas that we will focus on is the subject that we just discussed previously, which is being able to publish to different form factor devices, being able to support our content on tablets and phones and the mobile devices. So that's definitely going to be a big focus for us,
So
and I
you're
believe
seeing
that's
that
where the
as
industry is headed, and we'll be supporting that.
so you're seeing that as a real place people are going.
Yes, yes. At least by the time we come out with the next version, I think, I mean, that would be one of the key differentiators. Yes.
Well, we don't have any more questions in the chat room, more just statements, and it looks like kudos as well for the work you're doing on Captivate, but no questions. So we're seeing that Leva is commenting that Captivate is fully functional in RoboHelp, but not in Acrobat, excuse me, and that the RoboHelp integration is a great idea. I'm sorry, I'm trying to paraphrase
Well,
the
actually, Captivate
tweets.
works well in Acrobat 9, where you could actually publish a Captivate file into Acrobat, and it works. We actually do that for one of our clients. We create every e-learning piece we create in Captivate. We then create a PDF for it, and they keep that in their archives. And they found it a real easy way for backup. Should an LMS collapse for any odd reason, should the LMS fail, they have backups through PDF, which is sort of an interesting approach. Are you finding people doing things like that, Shamir?
Yeah, so I mean, Captivate is also part of the Acrobat suite, in addition to the TechCom suite and the e-learning suite. So we